Alright guys, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Pocket video on my channel. So Pikachu EX has been always one of those Pokemons in Pokemon TCG Pocket which has been great. Now the good old Pikachu EX from the first set expansions which released with the game was actually the meta deck back then. Like Pikachu EX and Zapdos was one of those decks, and the other one was Mewtwo and Gardevoir. Now, those two decks had a long reign, like, I mean, literally 2 or 3 months, right? So now we're looking at a new deck. Thanks to Elemental Switch, we're having a extra support, and thanks to the new Pichu, we're also having an extra support, which allows us to supply our Pokemon. And we're also running 2 times Oricorio, 1 times Zeraora, which supplies itself in round 1, and Carpariki. Now, this deck is actually currently back in the meta. Literally, it's very competitive. I already played a couple of matches off stream with it, had 2 back-to-back wins, 2 matches, 2 wins actually, in Master Ball rank. And let's actually jump into a few more matches in ranked, Master Ball rank, and let's see how this deck actually fares against the current meta. Now, currently, you see a lot of Guzzlord EX decks again on the rise, right? It's interesting how Guzzlord EX is now being played more than when it actually got released, right? When it actually got released, all you were seeing is Buzzwole decks. But yeah, anyways, let's jump into this. We're playing against a Dark-type deck. What is it? And it does seem like we're playing against Guzzlord EX straight off the bat. And we're running our EX Pokemon here is able to supply itself in round 1. Or round 2, rather to speak, right? Let's actually see. I would have liked to have Pichu in that round, because then I could have used my XP to retreat, bring Pichu in the active position and utilize its ability. But that's not happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw out a red card since the opponent had 4 cards in his hands, and we will end our turn. Now, the opponent is not going to be able to do any damage this turn. He's not going to be able to attack. He's most likely playing Guzzlord and Anego. I'm assuming anyway. So neither of those Pokemon can actually do us any harm. The only bad thing would be if he plays the Poisonous Barb, which basically would be annoying because we would take poison damage, and he actually does play it. Bro, this is just a perfect script book here. But we do have Sabrina, which is good. So I'm going to actually decline this turn and not going to use Professor's Research. We're actually going to be more aggressive and actually going to run straight up into Sabrina, which forces the opponent to bring forth another Pokemon. Guzzlord EX is coming to the active position. Now, our Pokemon can do 20 damage, but it supplies itself with 1 more energy, which basically means the next turn we are ready with our 90 damage attack. Now, he's most likely going to switch into his Anego. Seems like it, since it's supplied it with energy. All right, let's see where this one's going. And yes, the switch has been made. So we are going to take 20 damage now from poisoning on top of the 30 damage from the attack, which is kind of bad. But since we're going to annihilate Anego anyways this turn, it's the only turn where we're going to take this kind of damage. Zeraora is not going to be of any help at the moment. Let's actually see Pikachu EX and Oricorio. Very nice. So Oricorio is going to prevent any damage being done to it by Guzzlord EX, and Pikachu EX is going to be able to one-shot his Guzzlord EX. Perfect. Perfect timing. Since we do have the support Pokemon attachment tool for electric types, we're going to use it, and we're going to destroy his active position Pokemon. Very nice. 1 point out of 3. Let's actually see. He's coming forth with his Guzzlord, huh? I'm assuming he has Samantha. He's most likely going to play Samantha and then give itself, yes, 2 energies. Oh, interesting. He's going for his Celesteela for the energy, which is nice. Now, it depends. I was just going to say, is he going to get the coin flip? No, he isn't. Very nice. So we are living another round, And this basically means we can actually go for a Pokeball here, search for another Pokemon Pichu. We don't really need that one anymore. We're going to go for the energy on Pikachu EX and then attack. We are staying in the active position. We have a elemental advantage in this case. We're going to do 110 damage and the opponent's now left with 10 HP. Now, he's most likely going to be able to defeat my Pokemon now if he gets the coin flip. If he doesn't, then it's just bad luck. Let's see. No coin flip. Very nice. We're surviving again. One more round. Awesome. Very nice. And Pikachu EX is there. And the opponent surrendered. The opponent had to surrender there. Either way, we would have won, right? Whether he would have defeated my Pokemon or not, right? Pikachu EX was there for the taking. We could have literally just one-shotted his Guzzlord EX since it already had taken 20 damage, which is nice. So now we've won 3 rounds in a row with Pikachu EX in this current meta. Actually very surprising to see how old Pokemon are coming back. I'm actually hoping to see another baby Pokemon coming out in the future, which actually supplies water Pokemon as well. This would probably make it possible to finally play Wartortle. Maybe. Blastoise, maybe. That would be definitely something. I was just mixing up the names there. Blastoise would be one Pokemon I definitely want to play if there is more support for water Pokemon there. So let's actually jump into another round. We do have Oricorio there. Actually a pretty bad start, not gonna lie. Would have actually liked to start with Pichu. But let's see where this one's going. All right. Okay, we do have Capariki there. We're gonna be playing a Pokeball for another basic Pokemon. Let me guess. I was just gonna say another Oricorio. We're not going to need that one. Pichu would have been nice, and X-Speed. Pokeball, Pichu, okay, sure. Another Pokeball. Pikachu EX. Okay, this is actually pretty good. The setup is more than enough right now. So we're actually completely set up on the field how we actually want to be set up. Now the problem is we have Oricorio in the active position. We're not going to be able to attack this turn. His active Pokemon is going to get 1 energy now due to his own ability. And you, bro, why are you playing a red card if I only have 3 cards in my hand? Like, I literally hate those kind of players. Why on earth would you do that? There is no benefit in it whatsoever. You could be destroying my strategy. You could also give me the same cards again. You could also give me something better. Like, how stupid you must be as a player. Red card, 5 cards in his hands, no more. I literally, that is something. Bro, if I was to able to punch a player virtually, I would do it right there and then. All right, let's see. We do have Mars, which is all right. If he defeats my Oricorio the turn after this one, then we can actually utilize Mars. But yeah, let's see where this one's going. I'm actually eager to see what kind of other Pokemon he's playing. Professor's Research, drawing 2 more cards. And he does have type Null. Huh, interesting. So type Null, if he does play Silverly the next round, then that's going to be actually good for us. We do have Sabrina. Okay, you know what? I'm going to let my Oricorio get sacrificed in the active position, right? And then I'm going to see how the opponent reacts with it. If he doesn't give me a Mars now, then we can actually force the opponent to come out with Silverly. I was just going to say, he is playing it perfect. And we're definitely going to get rid of the bigger threat, which is his Silverly in this current situation, right? Because now what needs to be done is this. Pikachu EX is coming out to the active position. And we do have X-Speed as well. Very nice. Sabrina, which is forcing the opponent to bring his harder hitting Pokemon to the active position. And now my Pikachu is able to defeat his Pokemon. Now he's not going to be able to do any high amounts of damage in the immediate future. I mean, Zeraora is only doing 50, which is alright. It's not very troublesome at the moment. Pikachu can take 2 of those if it needs to. Pokeball. The opponent searching for another basic Pokemon. Another Zeraora hit the field on the bench. It's not going to profit from its ability to get another energy. However, it's there, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring Pichu to the active position now. Because I'm thinking if I bring Pichu out now, we're going to be able to actually supply our other Pokemons more efficiently. And by the next turn, we're actually able to attack with Capariki there and doing 90 damage, right? So let's come out with Pichu. And then let's go for the special attack, like so. And we're going to supply our far right benched EX Pokemon. So the next turn, we are doing a definitive 90 amount of damage to the opponent, which is an immediate one-shot. Okay, I didn't want the opponent to play Iono there because now we lost our Mars, which is kind of bad because Mars would have been nice. We could have reduced the opponent's hand to only 1 more card, which is, yeah. Okay, let's see anyways where this one's going. All right, he has 2 points. Now, even if he has Cyrus, there is nothing that's going to help him in this current situation. Professor's Research. Let's go. Zeraora. We're not needing him, but we're going to play him anyways, right? We don't really need him. 90 damage. The opponent's active position. Zeraora is defeated. So now he's only left with 1 more Pokemon. Now, it's regardless of what he plays, there is nothing he can do to win this match. Literally nothing. Unless he comes out with a surprise cheat from somewhere, there is nothing he can do. So let's see what the opponents... And he surrendered. I was expecting him to surrender, and he did. GG. 4 rounds. Back-to-back 1. Pikachu EX is definitely back. Definitely, again, back in the current meta, having made its competitive return in Master Ball rank. Very strong. I can only recommend you guys giving this deck a shot. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.